Okay, I think we are live on YouTube and Facebook. So, this is your weekly message forecast for April the 24th through the 30th, rounding out this month of April and about to go into May. You can't tell me, guys, that you don't find time is just flying by because it is. So, for this week's pick a card reading, I am using the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And this is a powerful, unique, it's so different than any other deck that I have. These messages are really unique. So and different and just beautiful, and they have healing processes that go along with each card. So this is the deck I'm going to be using because I feel like we need these messages, this type of card. Now these are pretty long messages that I'll read from the book, but and sometimes these cards make me cry when I start reading from the book. The message makes me cry because it really hits you. It'll hit you, you know, um, in your chakra area and different areas, and it just sometimes brings me to tears. So I may have to stop. I'm just giving you a warning there, but we'll see how it goes. So our stones are going to be the rose quartz, the amethyst, and a crystal quartz. So let's dive right on in and see what this deck has to offer. And I've been wanting to use this deck for a couple of weeks now because of just everything that's going on. I feel like these messages are needed. I feel like someone out there is going to really need to hear these messages. So let's get started. Let's dive in, guys. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful rest of your week, or for the new week coming in, ending out April and going into May. I'm ringing the bell. Spirit to step in here with me to assist me. If there's anything, there usually is nothing else to say to channel through, but if there's anything else to channel through, I will, because these are just so deep and profound. And then with the healing processes, so not too much to channel through. All right, stop there. Love the back of these cards, the Mother Maiden and the Crone. So for our first card, we'll put our rose quartz on it. For our second card, we'll put our clear quartz on it. And for our third card, we'll put our amethyst on there. All right. Let me grab some water because these are really long messages. It always seems like that's crooked. I will be doing a lot of talking. You hear the dryer. You may hear the dryer in the background. I'm drying some clothes. So let's see what we've got. If you chose the beautiful pink rose quartz, you've got number 27, which is receiving. It's like she's taking in the manna. So let's see. Of nurturing. Number 27. You are so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, sometimes forget this. You become swept up in the momentum of habitual consciousness and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be. In that moment, you can receive the love of the universe that is receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. You have not done this enough, so your soul is becoming parched and is drying out. Energy has been going out of you, but there is not enough coming back in. It is time to bring something back in for you to receive and be received. You are being offered a chance for restoration now, to feel nourished, cared for, and loved. Accept it. You deserve it. And there's some healing processes that we're going to go through that's going to help you surrender any guilt or shame you feel for having needs in the first place. It will also help you overcome any struggles that you have receiving and accepting so that your needs can be met. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? When you delight in what you receive, when you openly embrace a gift and are so happy with it, the universe is fully received by you. In this space, there is a joyful communion between you and life. Energy flows more freely and magic happens. When you demur, saying you cannot accept, that is, it is too great of a gift or that you are not worthy, you are impeding the flow. You are inhibiting the communion, the connection, the playful interaction between you and the universe. Enough with the false modesty and guilt. You are a radiant sun in the human clothing. An exquisite life experience is your birthright. Enjoy it. Soak it up. All of it, including the restoration of a sacred rest. From that place of nourishment, you will more effortlessly create, live, love with greater energy and deriving, pulsing passion. The earth rests each night so it can greet the sun again each morning with the spectacular living art of sunrise. Allow yourself to switch off, step away, close the laptop, switch off the phone, and just be with yourself for a little while. You will return to be more efficient and effective. Rest now, play now, and work later. Forget your worries for a while, switch off, do something else. Let it all go, and it all will flow. So, the healing process is say aloud, and you may have to come back and listen to this video again at this point. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false beliefs about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is sacred healing and happening and that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now through unconditional love. This is so absolutely great mantra there, healing process um to read daily. Go back, guys, write it down. Um and do this process each day. So absolutely just beautiful. And I almost teared up on it too. I wanted to just let it flow. These cards are very powerful and deep, these messages, and sometimes um they just tear it just wants to flow out of me. So we're gonna see what the second card is. And this is if you chose this clear quartz, you've got going beyond normal. And this is number 14. Yeah, these messages are just so powerful. And it says, on the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic, and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches that you enhance rather than hinder your life's journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors within an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneous, and with trust so we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as in an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a place and time for logic, strategy, planning, measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to squash our less rational but equally valuable decision making tools, which is intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may have no convincible basis in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time, to draw up reliable methods, and to prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There's a sense of what might work where and a loose or even a detailed plan. But how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an ideal to fruition. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to accept a mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit in a proverbial ocean in a teacup. To fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup, it is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than to trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially accepted. This is good. This is fringe dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable in a way of being. Either this way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful for you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature, which controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. Wow, that was a long message. I told you guys, and from the beginning, these are long, detailed messages. So the healing process for this is say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above small mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will, so be it. That is a beautiful message there, a very healing process. You can go back and listen to the healing process, use it as a mantra to repeat daily if you feel like you need to say it and repeat it. You can go back and rewind this or listen to this video again. All right, I'm going to grab some water before we go into our amethyst. A lot of talking. So if you chose the third card, which is the beautiful amethyst, you have New Birth, Guarded Vigilante. 24. Let's see what this is all about. '24. New Birth, Guarded Vigilante. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle, there is a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the fowl learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time. But the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is a fresh new life emerging, like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is indeed of your attention, in need of your attention and care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new ideal that you need to nurture into fullness because it's going to hold special purpose for you in your life. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world. And you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. This is most significantly so. If you have also drawn the Oracle of Defending End, which we haven't, so we haven't drawn an extra card for this, but what it's doing is either of these cards, this one that we have, alerts you to the fact that the ideal you are currently nurturing or soon will is of great importance in your life, in your life's path. Pay appropriate respect to the messages of those cards, and you will reap great spiritual benefit and emotional well being. We have not drawn any other cards, so we need to skip this part. So it says you must pay attention to the new life emerging for you now, or you will soon become, or that you will soon sense. You must not be careless and think it doesn't matter. It matters greatly. Being careless now is akin to a killing off the ideal before it has a chance to grow strong enough to withstand criticism, jealousy, or sabotage by the dark consciousness in others or yourself. We don't have to be frightened of destructive energy. It exists in nature and in us and is a part of life. We do, however, need to be intelligent to its potential power and stay centered in our heart and in our wisdom to avoid its ill effect upon which we are nurturing into life. You will not always need to cloak that which is young. Soon enough, it will be able to stand up for itself. But for now, your vigilance and care is most certainly required. Hug your ideals to yourself as though as they were a new lover you cannot bear to share with another. In time, the world will be the lover receiving the love of your ideal. For now, it is time for you to love, for you hold, and for you to observe. Only allow those proven to be trustworthy to support you in this. Those who can handle the frequency or vibration of what you are seeking to nurture. Maybe some may love you, but be frightened of what you are creating. Stay true to yourself and your creative power, and be wise to whom you invite in your inner sanctum to witness this new life emerging. This oracle also brings particular guidance about keeping your inner sanctuary pure. This may be your room, a sacred place you visit, or your own body into which you retreat in relaxation and meditation. Sometimes you will find that others have taken up residency in your sanctuary. Perhaps an argument that you cannot let go has another living in your head. The suffering that has not been acknowledged and released can feel like a big old dirty suitcase of emotional baggage, cluttering up the temple space of your heart. It is time to focus on the purity, light, and love and compassion that dwells within you. Everything else will come and go, and that's just fine. But the purity within your sanctuary is eternal. You can come back to it, refresh your spirit, and gain resources to help you deal with the rest of the world and even your own darker moments anew. It will give you the peace and spaciousness of the mind you need to recognize the new life and to compassionately but firmly denounce any intrusion upon that new life of doubt, fear, and sabotage. So if you've got anything brewing, have anything, new ideas, something you're birthing, creating, this might be a time to keep it to yourself, guys, and only let people in that you trust. So there's a healing process that you can do. You can come back and listen to it. It says, close your eyes and relax. Focus on your breath for several moments. Imagine the external world fading away and allow yourself to step into your heart as though within you there is a silent, vast, open space. That space within is peaceful. Sense, see, or feel that deep within the space, a tender young shoot is rising out of the earth. With tremendous courage and focus, it has summoned the energy to crack through the seed that once contained its life force and is reaching directly upwards towards the light, boldly, determined to be full, mature plant. Imagine that you are joyfully, lovingly, and consciously standing guard over that shoot. From a loving, aware, strong space, you firmly move on any big muddy boots that would step on it, or devouring insects that look rather interested in the tasty young morsel. You do this easily and effortlessly whilst remaining centered in your heart. Except that is it. And turn the page. Around you and the shoot are many beings of unconditional love. These may be ancestors, spirit guides, beings of light, or angelic beings. You sense darkness rise and fall around you, and the circle of light created by your love and the beings supporting you to protect this tender young shoot. You can notice that rise and fall of darkness while remaining calm, centered, and detached in your heart as you focus your love on this young plant. Watch it and respond it growing. All is well. You may whisper to it, you're safe. You will grow strong and thrive through unconditional love. So be it. Absolutely love that healing process right there. So you may want to go back and listen to that again. Like I said, these are long, detailed, authentic messages here. I love this deck, guys, and I think I'm gonna leave it with that. I think that's good and rounding out for the end of April. As we go into a new month. So I guess I'm going to leave it there. Hope this helps you in your journey through life. Blessings, my friends, and I'll see you next time.